The air handling unit in the Iowa State Capitol is a mammoth structure of pieced together units expertly combined to provide an important function within the building. It was installed by Newman Brothers Incorporated of Des Moines, Iowa, beginning on May 19, 2011, as part of Phase P of the Capitol renovation project. But what does it do? And how did this massive unit that's 20 feet long, 8 feet wide, and 12 feet in height make its way into the attic of the Capitol?
The new air handler was installed to provide conditioned air and cooling for the rotunda spaces and some of the common corridors for the third, second, and first floors of the Capitol building. During the winter months, we have radiators on the first floor that basically provide the conditioned air for that space. But from approximately mid-March through the end of October, we never really had anything to provide the conditioned air for that space.
The unit itself weighed 17,300 pounds. The only access to that area, or the attic for that installation, was through a skylight that was right above the law library main skylight. On May 19th, we brought beams in and started the installation of those structural beams, which were attached to the structural columns and walls of the Capitol to support this unit that was to be brought in. We brought in all of the protection and the aluminum picks that straddled the skylight of the law library to form the platform for which the units would be landed and then rolled into place. The skylight, for which all the equipment was lowered, is positioned approximately 240 feet off of the west drive, and it approximately is about 140 to 150 feet in the air, thus requiring a significant crane to lift the units. The individual units, all themselves not weighing much, an area or each unit weighed somewhere between either 950 pounds or 2,200. The heaviest unit was 2,250 pounds. So the amount of weight that was being lifted was not the critical item. The critical item was the reach of the crane from the west driveway. As the crane lifted the first unit, which weighed 1,250 pounds, coming through the skylight, it was lowered onto our landing deck onto rollers, which were just steel dowels. then it was just then rolled by hand over across the deck into position where it was then ultimately placed. The unit was steered ultimately by just a hand jack lever with wheels on the end. As the first unit was placed in the back, or the complete south end of where the unit was to be stored, the next unit was already being lashed and being started to be lifted. Continuous process. Second unit came in, got lifted down the same spot. The difference was that as the second unit, because it is a stacked unit, as it approached or was positioned right next to the first lift, it was lifted vertically by rigging that was off the beams in the attic that was lifted and placed on top of the first unit. So this process, the third unit was brought in, stacked in front of unit number 1. Unit number 4 came in, it was stacked on top of unit number 3 and in front of unit number 2. So this process continued on all day long for 12 sections.
The main thing it helped provide is the removing humidity out of the air and to cool some of that space. We have numerous artwork pieces and wood pieces such as wood doors, wood frames, things like that, that as the humidity built up through the summer, those would expand and some of the doors were hard to close, hard to open, things of that nature. And then after this air handler was installed, it kind of kept the humidity to a certain level and the temperature at a certain level.